We'll introduce you to karate master Daniel Pope on our next program at 10 in the morning. Yesterday we started a series on professional bodies, we might say. I mean, this is the season when we do notice, when people wear less clothes, how well built people are.
Sure.
So yesterday we looked at a woman bodybuilder, and today we're going to look at a man who also wins trophies for his fabulous physique, but he puts it to work in the karate dojang. Take a look.
Yes. That's much better.
The popularity of martial arts training in America owes an enormous amount to the movies. The Karate Kid trilogy has taken the exotic image of this ancient fighting style from Asia and placed it in a recognizable situation, the local gymnasium where tournament competition is the focal point. But there's been a consistent theme through all three films that fixes the plot for this newest release, Karate Kid 3. Mr. Miyagi, the quiet bonsai gardener from Japan who trains young Daniel LaRusso, tries to shake him of his all-American viewpoint that winning isn't the main thing, but the only thing. And when Daniel wants to defend his championship trophy against a challenger, Mr. Miyagi warns,
Daniel-san, if karate use defend honor, defend life, karate means something. If karate use defend the plastic metal trophy, karate no mean nothing.
But are these honors just plastic and metal to the dedicated young athletes who've earned them? These are just a small segment of the dozens won by a local karate kid also named Daniel, 23-year-old Daniel Pope from Delaware County. Each trophy stands about 5 feet tall, and each is inscribed with a different accomplishment in the Korean style of karate known as Tang Soo Do.
The reason the trophies are so big is because it makes you to strive that much harder. It's very nice looking, but when you've won the amount of awards that I've won, eventually it starts to lose its meaning because you look over and it just looks like one big, I have 55 awards at home, and I look at them and it just looks like one piece of furniture. And sometimes just to appreciate them, I go one by one and remember how hard the sweat, the tears, sometimes blood that it took to win those things. And after a while, I just want to say, haven't I proven myself enough?
Have you?
Well, I just for your sake, I gathered my statistics together, and I've been to 34 tournaments, and I have 55 awards, 30 first places, and 9 grand championships.
And you're only 23.
23.
It's tempting with this movie out to call Daniel Pope one of the Delaware Valley's Karate Kids, but actually he's grown up into being more like Mr. Miyagi because he is one of the country's finest practitioners of the martial art known as Tang Soo Do.
It dates back about 2,000 years old. Its emphasis are on kicks and utilization of the hip and strong stances. In fact, we tell a lot of our students that you're like a building. If you don't have strong stances, like a building, you'll collapse eventually as you go higher.
When people think about martial arts, you know, they don't envision boxing gloves. Why do you emphasize boxing so much?
Well, I think Tang Soo Do has a lot of good kicking techniques, but I think boxing is the master art of hand self-defense. And boxing is just a great art, and I've been following boxing ever since I was a kid, so that's just something I've incorporated into my school.
Reverse.
Do you consider your body a weapon?
I teach the same concepts as the Karate Kid tries to emphasize, and only fighting when you absolutely have to for self-defense. Nowadays, you'll go to jail if you misuse your art or your skill, and it's not a very good idea to misuse anything that you've been taught.
Especially something which is potentially deadly.
Absolutely.
Daniel certainly turned his accomplishments into a marketing tool. These trophies serve as a powerful reminder to his students that even though he's quite young, Daniel has a lot he can teach.
If you spin and kick at the same time, you don't lose time. If you keep your head there, your body starts to spin, but if you notice, you can still keep your head where your target is, and that will help you focus right on your target.
Right now, he offers dozens of classes a week that range from challenging sparring sessions for advanced practitioners all the way down to basic instruction for the little ones.
2. Tuck your head, Bill. That's it.
I think karate is two things. I think karate is physical, and I think karate is mental. Physical, getting yourself in good physical condition. In the meantime, one of the benefits of martial arts when it's taught properly is that you learn how to defend yourself. I'd say mentally, it helps us to develop discipline, which is great for children. It's concentration. Kids' grades are going to go up when their concentration increases, because they're paying attention to the teachers more, and they're taking in more information. And when test time comes around, they're finding themselves with better grades. Parents are very happy about that.
What's the advice, then, that you would have for parents of young kids who are thinking of karate's for my kid? How can they evaluate whether an instructor really has their child's best interests at heart or whether they really are in the business of selling a succession of belts.
I think that they have to watch a few classes. I think that they have to see how this instructor interacts with the students. And people aren't dumb. They can tell if they're really, truly rely on their gut instinct. Don't go by the show that they put on. Look at that person. Look at him as a human being and pretend he was selling cars or a refrigerator and say, do I want to trust my child with this man?
Good class today. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're excused.
And in case you're wondering, Daniel is a second-degree black belt, and his courses are taught in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania.